from me, Peter Brackley, welcome to Mezzanotte and to one of the most eagerly awaited fixtures of the season. From the San Siro Stadium, this is the 124th Milan derby in the top flight. Milan, the league leaders, against Inter, another night of high passion in prospect for the pride of Italy's second city. Around 80,000 have assembled in this palatial atmospheric arena, contributing gate receipts in excess of £1 million. So many outstanding players on view, among them, of course, George Weah, the new European Footballer of the Year, such a revelation for Milan this season. Well, he plays up front alongside Roberto Baggio in this lineup. Savicevic and Simone are both out injured, along with Boban and Albertini. There's a rare start for Canio wide on the left. It's the same Inter side that won at Lazio a week ago. Fontelan again preferred to Gantz, with Carbone partnering Branca up front. The Brazilian defender Roberto Carlos is back from the Olympic qualifying tournament, but only on the bench tonight. Milan, of course, chasing their fourth Scudetto in 5 years. But Inter's campaign has been steadily progressing since Roy Hodgson's arrival, and they can go above Lazio into 5th place should they win tonight. The referee is Alfredo Trentolanghe from Turin. Milan then kicking off, two clubs with 27 league titles between them. Inter have won it 13 times and Milan 14. Fierce rivalry has prevailed down the decades, and as with so many of these big city derbies around the world, the form book really doesn't count for too much when these two collide. It's with his first contribution to the game. On by Baggio. This is Di Canio, way through the middle. And a good timely interception then by Centofanti. Then Bergomi to clear. That was Donadoni, who's having a decent run in the side these days. This, though, will be his last Milan derby before he departs for the American Football League. It's a foul then by Weah on Paul Ince. Ince, who's playing in his second Milan derby. He also featured in the 1-1 draw back in October. Free kick to Milan, taken by Franco Baresi, and it was a careless one too. And put Panucci in trouble. Fontelan, good strike, and it spilled away from Rossi. And that all stemmed from a careless piece of play from all people by Baresi, which he was there the first to acknowledge. Fontelan with a shot that Rossi couldn't hold on to. And Baresi to redeem himself by heading away for the corner. Only partially away, but it's picked up here by Baggio, till he was hustled out of his stride. Carbone, no, the flag's up for offside. But it's certainly been a frenetic start to this Milan derby. For the record, Inter have 44 wins to Milan's 36 in Serie A, but overall, in all competitive games, Milan have the edge. Here's Paolo Maldini. Now Baresi. Baresi playing in his 27th Serie A derby. Ince patrolling the midfield with his usual tenacity. Carbone. Wide of him, Centofanti, who's keeping Roberto Carlos out of the team. Here's Desailly, the Frenchman. Then Panucci. We're just getting the touch on. And now Milan have the free kick. Desailly plays in midfield for Milan, but still a defender for his country, France. That's where I think we're going to see him in Euro 96. Such a strong and aggressive player. Di Canio. Desailly. There's a fine pass too. Eranio. Panucci on the overlap. Confronted by Centofanti, who was saying before the game, the difference between myself and Maldini is that he plays badly just once every 300 games, whereas I play well just once. I think he's being a bit hard on himself there. He's actually done quite well since coming into the side lately. The man who looks as if he's come out of a West End musical, with that long flowing hair. This is Roberto Baggio taking the free kick. Desailly to head it on, but well wide of goal. Two teams who have been in fine form lately. Milan, the designated home side tonight, have won 6 of the last 7 in Serie A, and Inter all of their last 4 without conceding a goal. Here's Festa, who had been doubtful for the game because of flu, and the same applied to Paganini, his central defensive partner. Zanetti, the Argentine international. Good header on by Branca. This is Carbone. Baresi calling for offside, but there was no flag, and now Branca has been fouled. Milan employ this offside trap so effectively, but they had their angles wrong that time. Maldini was the offender as he clattered into the back of Marco Branca. Centofanti has come across here to join Carbone. This is Carbone then, the former Napoli player. Taken by Centofanti, it spins away off the wall. Eranio, he's lost out. This is Branca. Oh, great goal! Marco Branca. 5 minutes gone, and Inter have gone in front. A man who's been in such sparkling form in front of goal. Branca has pounced again. It was a chilling finish. His 14th goal in all in Serie A this season. And he's now scored 12 in 16 league appearances for his new club Inter, the man who arrived, of course, from Roma back in November. Struck it so fiercely there, past Sebastiano Rossi, to the dismay of Fabio Capello, the Milan coach, down on the bench. Great start then for Inter. Donadoni to Desailly. This is Eranio. Now Weah. He's done well to pull it back. Baggio laid off to Eranio. The shot, though, is charged down. Costacurta. Milan have lost only 1 of their 35 competitive games this season. That one blemish against Bari in the league 5 months ago. That's a measure of their consistency this season. But they're really up against it early on against Inter. Zanetti. Baresi has come across to cover. Still got his cross in though. Ince on to Carbone. And he and Branca were going for the same ball then, Paul Ince. But Carbone was fouled anyway. There had been a suggestion a week ago that Carbone might be left out, but I gather the president wasn't too keen on that idea. So Roy Hodgson had a change of heart and left Gantz out instead. And that's been the way of it again tonight. Gantz among the substitutes. Carbone playing up front alongside Branca. And it was Carbone who thought he'd scored the winner against Lazio last week, but in fact, in the end, it was credited as an own goal by the Lazio defender Nesta. This is Centofanti. Eranio trying to break away. And the decision going Milan's way. Fontelan, who gives them good balance down the left side, Inter, ahead of Centofanti. That was his tackle then on Eranio. Bergomi. Cleared by Festa, then Zanetti. Baresi searching out George Weah. Baggio looking ahead of him. Baggio, who's starting his first Milan derby. He was only a substitute back in October. He was making his way back from injury. And as ever, it looks like being a very, very competitive game. Fontelan is the target here. Way by Maldini. When he was fouled as Fresi, but a slip by him. Weah showing his determination through the middle. He was clearly being held back, and that will be a caution for the culprit, who I think was Frazee. Both teams are unbeaten here in Serie A this season. Only Fiorentina also have an unblemished home record in Serie A this season. Confirmation, a yellow card then for Frazee, playing in midfield for Inter, as he has been since the absence of Nicola Berti through long-term injury. He's normally a sweeper, Frazee. That's where he plays for the Italian under-21s. Panucci is also part of that setup. Eranio, Panucci again. That was Paganini to hoof it away. Eranio taking the throw quickly. Costacurta to Baresi. Approaching now his 36th birthday, Baresi. Now Canio's got caught out. Away goes Branca. Solid challenge by Baresi. Donadoni. Baresi. Slipped on for Donadoni. Here's Panucci. Now Costacurta. Weah, that's a fine pass. Eranio. Baggio in the middle. The save by Pagliuca. And cleared away by Bergomi. A real escape then for Inter. Such cohesion shown by Milan with their attacking play. Weah with that exquisite pass to release Eranio down the right side. Here's Weah again. He's so much more than just a goal scorer. Look at him here, taking defenders on. Weah's cross. And gratefully gathered then by Pagliuca, who's been back to his best form recently. Just 3 goals conceded now in the last 8 league games by Pagliuca. He's had 4 clean sheets in Serie A in a row. Really fine stop then from Eranio. Centofanti. Too long for Carbone. Then off the head of Maldini to Donadoni. He's playing in central midfield tonight alongside Desailly. Panucci. Weah. Could be something on here. Pagliuca to the rescue again. His strength carried him through. Maldini. Away by Centofanti. This is a vibrant spell now for the league leaders Milan. Panucci. And that'll be a goal kick as the two players collide. Meantime, let's see again that moment when Weah set himself up for the chance and was denied by the exemplary positioning of Pagliuca. Weah with 14 goals in all competitions for Milan this season. Here's Carbone, on for Branca. He's looking so sharp, Marco Branca. Really has been a dream move for him from Roma to Inter. And it's the first time really with a big club that he has established himself as an automatic choice. Good header by Ince. But this is Franco Baresi for Milan. On by Weah. Paganini with the header out. In goes Desailly, so firm in the tackle again. Weah, equally so. Canio couldn't quite pull it back far enough. Maldini. Weah. Well, it's not beyond him to score from there. Such is his confidence in and around the penalty area. Scored in 4 successive games after his recent return from the African Nations Cup. A real trump card for Fabio Capello. Branca. Hustled and bustled though by Desailly. Now Baggio. Weah. Down for Canio. Weah again. But in the end, too many defenders for him. And here's Bergomi. He's playing tonight his 28th derby in Serie A, equaling Mazzola's total for Inter. Facchetti, though, is the top man with 30. Desailly picking out Eranio. And he's got support now from Panucci. 2 minutes of stoppage time to be played. Well, George Weah has been a continual threat for Milan so far this evening. He didn't score last week in the 4-0 win over Vicenza, but he made 3 of the goals. Costacurta. Now Baresi. Milan haven't lost this fixture in Serie A as a designated home team since November of 1990, when Berti got the winner. Branca down for Carbone. Now Zanetti to Ince. Now Fresi. Centofatti intelligently on to Fontelan. Here's Centofatti again. Came from Ancona back in the summer. Centofatti. He's had quite a wait to get his chance in the senior side. Fontelan, who was tumbled here, only returned to the Serie A side a week ago after a lengthy absence. This is Fontelan now, and he's forced the corner off Eranio. The two teams with the best defensive records in the top flight this season. The goal scored by Branca was only the 17th that Milan have let in. Inter have conceded 18. And only 3 here in the San Siro. Carbone's corner. That came off Costacurta. Now, has Rossi kept that in? No, he hasn't. Another corner then to Inter, deep into injury time. Sebastiano Rossi, who was rested at midweek for the UEFA game. 2-0 win for Milan over Bordeaux. Carbone to try again. Costacurta then off Ince, who's yet to score for Inter since his move from Manchester United. But he's come close on quite a few occasions, and that one almost fell kindly for him. Costacurta with that initial header. So a slender advantage for Inter at the end of the first 45 minutes. Marco Branca's early goal has been the derby's most significant moment so far, but Inter can surely anticipate a strong riposte from their great rivals in the second half. Join us for that in a couple of minutes from now. Welcome back to the San Siro Stadium, where passions clearly are running pretty high here among the Milan fans. Their team, though, have made a substitution at half-time. Canio is off, and 18-year-old Ambrosini has come on for them. As referee Trentelange prepares to get us underway, Inter leading by a 1-0. Marco Branca after just 5 minutes of this fiercely contested derby. Panucci with the back header. Two teams with plenty of incentives quite apart from local pride. Milan, of course, to strengthen their grip on the Serie A table, and Inter to enhance their prospects of a UEFA Cup place. Centofatti taking the throw for Inter. Fresi in quickly on Desailly. Inter's coach Roy Hodgson, incidentally, isn't down on the bench. He's been banned after comments made to the referee after last week's match against Lazio. So Adamani, his number 2, is down on the sidelines. Hodgson up in the stands. Let's hope he wasn't sitting where all those fires were. Here's Weah. Now Eranio. Weah's continued his run into the middle. Pacani with a header out, only as far as Baggio, but he didn't get hold of that one. Scooped it wide. Baggio, who scored Milan's second goal in midweek, his first, in fact, direct from a free kick for nearly a year. Now Maldini is having to go off, so that's a real blow for Milan. Tassotti, their veteran defender, on to replace him. He had started the last two, Tassotti, and is destined to join the youth ranks coaching at the end of the season. Here's Tassotti now. On by Fresi to Fontelan. Capello revealing his frustration there. His team finding Inter very hard to break down, as have most teams in Serie A this season. Roy Hodgson has them well organised now with his 4-4-2 formation. Ince a key man in central midfield. Weah, another splendid turn, but quickly closed down by Paganini. Inter, of course, haven't enjoyed anything like the same success as Milan domestically in recent times. They've won the Scudetto only once in the last 16 seasons, back in 1989. The club celebrating yesterday their 88th birthday. Panucci taking the throw. Milan, remember, beginning the game 6 points clear of Fiorentina, who they still have to play this season. We'll bring you highlights of their game at Bari a little later on. Baresi. That was Paganini with the header. It goes Branca. Now Fresi, all rather congested in that midfield. Desailly trying to spread the play. Eranio trying to keep it in. Now Tassotti. Panucci, who's now switched then to the left side for Milan. Wales after this one, the slip by Festa. And Weah settling for the corner kick. Festa, who didn't train for 3 days leading up to this game because of that problem with influenza. Very solid he's been at the back, though, for Inter this season. Baggio's corner kick. That came off Costacurta. And just over the crossbar. Called over enticingly then by Baggio. There was the header from Costacurta as he tackled with Festa. Pagliuca had it covered though. Ince. Now Zanetti. It goes Ince again, as ever biting into the tackle. Carbone. Branca has set off through the middle. Carbone wanting support, he's found it too, through Zanetti. A well-judged tackle by Costacurta. And he's breaking forward now to find Donadoni. Weah. Here's Desailly. Weah has kept going, little touch by Baggio. But it didn't manage to unlock this. Very disciplined into defence. Carbone now. He's got Branca to his left. Here is Branca. Away from Costacurta. A last-ditch intervention then by Rossi. It's a wonderful attacking play by Inter, and from Branca here, away from Costacurta. And Rossi just got his foot to the ball in time. Terrific skill by Marco Branca. Teasing Rossi. And it was almost another goal then for the striker in inspired form. Corner to Inter, taken by Carbone. Ince underneath it. That was Baggio to clear, rather hopefully upfield. There's nobody up there for Milan, so Pagliuca can collect. Not a bad ball either to Branca. showing good vision than Pagliuca. Branca has scored 8 times in 10 Serie A games now since the turn of the year. Baresi. Now Tassotti. Look how hard Inter are working. That was Fontaine almost embarrassing Tassotti. Paganini wins that one in the air. Baresi. Urgently wide to Donadoni. Here's Baggio. Now Panucci. Looked to be caught then by Zanetti. And the referee has indeed given the free kick. Yes, it was a clumsy challenge then by the Argentine, as he endeavoured to hold off Panucci. He's set off into the middle now, Panucci. He can be very dangerous on these set pieces, because they have no Maldini out there now. Baggio lining up the free kick, as Milan search for the equaliser. That was off the head of Rossi. It'll be a corner. Only Juventus have managed to hold the league leaders in their recent run of 6 wins in 7 Serie A games. And they're pressing into hard now. The shot driven through by Eranio. So close. Stefano Eranio, who scored Milan's first in their 2-0 win over Bordeaux in midweek. A player who's been plagued by injuries during his time with Milan. A very cultured footballer. And he's so nearly then scored the equalising goal. He's got just the 1 in Serie A this season, but his appearances have again been restricted by injuries. And indeed he's going off now, Eranio, to be replaced by Locatelli. This is Thomas Locatelli, a 19-year-old who was signed last summer from Atalanta. It's only his 2nd Serie A appearance tonight. Panucci, rather curious throw then by Donadoni, unpunished by the referee. Costacurta. Tassotti. Inter mainly on the defensive now, but there's always a danger that they can spring forward themselves to good effect. But now Centofanti's got caught out. This is Locatelli. Weah. And Centofanti had got back to relieve the danger after his mistake and put his team in trouble. Carbone's after this one. Costacurta sliding in. Fontaine, who provided the pass then for Carbone. Inter, who've been climbing the table since Roy Hodgson arrived after his initial settling down period. He's got them playing well now. Centofanti, and they've certainly been a match for Milan. Fresi. Branca with Panucci. Branca, who leads the attack with such belligerence, allied with his undoubted skill. Now Centofanti going off, and on comes Roberto Carlos, who's only just returned then from the Olympic qualifying tournament, helping Brazil through. He missed 4 games in total. 3 in Serie A, 1 in the Italian Cup. And he will certainly add some pace to Inter's attacking options down this left side. Costacurta. Now Panucci. Chipping it through, but just too long for George Weah. Panucci, who seems equally at home on either flank. but failing there to link up with Weah. Good jump by Branca. Now Carbone can profit from it. Cleverly played it for Zanetti. Two in the middle for Inter. Good save by Rossi. Fresi. Miscue really from Ambrosini. Now Roberto Carlos. This exciting South American. Fontelan's flick. Made such a dramatic impact at the start of the season, Roberto Carlos. With those early goals that he scored. But in his absence, Centofanti had been doing well. So Roy Hodgson decided he could afford to leave Roberto Carlos on the bench until bringing him on in this second half. Donadoni slotted through. Well, the young substitute, Locatelli. Looks pretty lively. It's Donadoni's cross. And the header flashing wide from the other substitute. Ambrosini. That was the moment at the other end when Zanetti was threatening. Now Branca is going off, but being acclaimed by the Inter fans in the stadium. Maurizio Gantz on to take his place for the last few minutes now. Capello hoping his team can prize something from this derby. But they've only got a few minutes to save it. Off goes Gantz, who's pretty quick. As Baresi is finding out there. Carbone. A rugged challenge, but in the eyes of the referee, a fair one from Costacurta. Don't think Carbone saw it that way. Donadoni. Now Baggio. This is Tassotti. Down by Weah for Desailly. In goes Weah. Good awareness shown by Locatelli. Desailly. Roberto Carlos to whack it away. Baggio, a misplaced pass by him though, and off go Inter now with Carbone. Just slipped on for Zanetti. Carbone content with the throw. As Inter look to survive the remaining minutes now. Ince for Fontelan. Now Bergomi. Ince from Carbone's pass. Good distribution by Ince then. Zanetti's cross. Gantz, oh, it was just nicked away from him then by Costacurta. Oh, that surely would have been the second goal. Gantz had taken up a really good position then in the 18-yard box. But he was denied the opportunity by some alert defending by Costacurta. Fresi. Gantz, I would have thought, was offside there, but the referee allowed the advantage anyway, which Weah is hoping to take up now. Weah shots! Again, great positioning by Pagliuca. Fearsome drive then by Weah, but Pagliuca equal to it. Right foot, left foot, it's all the same to George Weah, but not good enough to beat Pagliuca, who again has had an inspired evening in goal for Inter, and he's needed to have one too. 3 minutes of stoppage time to play. Costacurta is the last defender here against Carbone. Panucci on for Donadoni. Gantz with a layoff to Ince. Paul Ince has certainly added some steel to Inter's midfield. They've kept their shape this evening, and they look like taking all 3 points. Fontelan, maybe they can make sure now. Played in for Gantz. Couldn't get past Costacurta. Off goes Baggio. Donadoni to his left. Zanetti tracking back with Donadoni. Desailly. And he see the run here of Tassotti. Still Tassotti. Weah. Locatelli. Oh! How close can you get? Well, what a moment that would have been for the 19-year-old, who has looked very sharp since coming on. The final whistle now, surely, only seconds away. Donadoni. Up towards Weah. Paganini is there. Baggio away from Fresi. Now Weah. Hits him with the tackle. A vital one too. Carbone. Fresi has kept running. Inter will want the ball up this end of the field now. Desperate measures required by Milan. But it's Ince for Inter. Now Roberto Carlos. Festa. Gantz is after it. And Rossi having to head it away. Costacurta. The 124th Milan derby in Serie A belongs to Inter. Marco Branca's goal just 5 minutes in has proved to be the winner. A result that extends Inter's winning league run to 5 games. For Milan, this is a first defeat in any competitive game in 5 months. Milan 0, Inter 1.
E mi torna ancora in mente l'avvocato Brisco. Lui diceva che la Serie A è il nostro DNA.